Hello again, everybody. Red of Half Century Collecting Sports Cards here, and I'm going to feature some more of my favorite baseball or sports cards. These were in my list that we featured last week. Actually, numbers kind of around that 110 mark in the countdown. And we're going to start today with a card from one of my favorite sets, the 1969 Top Supers. And this is a Bob Gibson. Now, as I was going to pick this card out, I was actually planning on Roberto Clemente from that set. But as I was finding that card, which I really do like, I saw the Gibson and it's like, I like this card better. It's got just really cool color, those cardinal reds. This is Gibson coming off his 1.12 ERA season. And these Top Supers, just, kind of a high quality card of the day, even though the backs don't necessarily show a whole lot, but just thought that Gibson looked pretty cool and decided to put that on my list. 69 Top Super Bob Gibson. All right, next we are going to the 19th century. In fact, 138 years old is this card. And I think the picture just survives really well. Really nice of this Hall of Famer, even though I know you got a little stain up there and it looks like a chew out of the left upper corner. But rest of the card, the portrait looks really nice. Actually, the back's not too bad. It's got some staining, but nothing bad. And this is of one of the all-time greats, one of the best players of the 19th century. Big dude, big thick dude. You can tell on this card he was 6'3", 220, which that just had to be a giant in the 19th century. And in fact, such a giant that the team he mostly played for was the New York Gothams, and they ended up changing their name a lot because of Roger Connor to the New York Giants, franchise name that still exists today after the move to San Francisco in the late 50s. I always thought the New York Giants were named that way because the big city of New York, but more of a reason was because of this player, Roger Connor, the all-time home run king until Babe Ruth came along. In fact, 138 career home runs, record that stood for 23 years. His best season was 17 homers. He was the league leader in WAR 3 times. He was the first player to completely hit the ball out of the Polo Grounds, a shot that he hit off a whole Hall of Fame pitcher, Old Hoss Radburn. And I see looking like a picture on that picture, but hit the ball over the right field fence, out of the stadium, landed on 112th Street. The fans were so excited that they got together and got him a $500 gold watch to commemorate the occasion. Not only was he the first player to hit the ball completely out of the Polo Grounds, he also was the first remembered Grand Slam hitter, and maybe remembered because it happened to be in 1881, and it was a ball hit not only with the bases loaded, but 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning, down by 3 runs. So a walk-off grand slam where they actually needed all 4 runs to win the game, and Roger Connor did that. Now, his 138 homers is obviously no longer on the all-time list, but his 223 triples are. In fact, they are still, to this day, 5th all-time. So he was a big guy with some speed and a career WAR of almost 85, which is pretty good for the amount of games they played back in those days. Roger Connor. Okay, next card, we're going to go to hot dogs. And this is from 1966, the Kahn's Wieners card of Hank Aaron. Now, there were a lot of really cool Kahn's Wieners, Hank Aaron cards, but I think the 66 is the coolest. I'm going to show all of the Kahn's Wieners errands. Starting there is his 65, his 66, his 67. There actually is a large and a small. I just have the large. 68, I do have both the large and the small. And 69, both the large and the small. Now to me, the 67 comes in a close second for the coolest Kahn's Wieners Hank Aaron card, kind of reminiscent of that 1950 Jackie Robinson card with the pose. But I love that 66, just great color in the card. The backs of these are blank, unlike the 55 backs, which actually give a little bit of stats and some info. But after 65, from 66 to 69, Kahn's just had blank backs. But there we go. 66 Kahn's Hank Aaron. Next on the list, got two more today to show. We are going to 1957, the rookie card of my number 4 all-time right fielder, back when I did my video of the best right fielders of all time. And that is Frank Robinson, guy who doesn't get near as much hobby love as he probably deserves. And the fact that he's not in my top 100 with a really cool looking rookie card means I'm just as guilty. But Frank Robinson, 20 years old in that rookie season and probably on that picture, but still hit 38 home runs. Quite a rookie season, and he didn't stop after that. In fact, he led the league in OPS 3 times with the Reds, won an MVP there, then gets traded to the Orioles. First season, 1966, wins an MVP there. So becomes the first player with MVP awards in both leagues. He had 107 career WAR, and when he retired, he was number 4 on the all-time home run list, behind just Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, and Willie Mays. All right, next we are going to 1948-49, traditionally a 48 Leafs card, probably a 1949. But besides this one, just looking like a cool card of Lou Boudreau, front and back. This one is also special because he is player manager of the Indians in this 1948 season, which it talks about on the back. Paced them to their World's Championship with a .355 batting mark, second only to Ted Williams that season. And now that's the last time this Cleveland franchise has won a world title, was in that 48 season. And Lou had a lot to do with it, not just as the manager, but had a great glove as a shortstop, who could also really hit. He had some 8+ WAR seasons in 1943 and 44, but in 48, he had a much bigger year. He actually led the league in both offensive and defensive WAR in that season, ended up with a total of 10.4 WAR, thus won the MVP award, and all while having the responsibilities of managing the team. He was a player manager for the Indians for 10 seasons, and his first year was 1942, at just age 24 that he was their manager. Besides being a player manager, he also played both professional baseball and professional basketball, after helping Illinois, the Illini, win a couple of Big Ten basketball titles. And he had some ankle injuries playing basketball, which kept him out of World War II in the military. And so that's why he had some of those good years in 43, 44, 42. One of the stars who was left playing in the league. He was known as one of the first managers who employed the shift. In fact, that big shift against Ted Williams nowadays would be illegal, similar to the shift that was used before it became illegal against some of the players now in the 21st century. Boudreau was doing way back in the 40s. So Lou Boudreau, career 63 WAR guy, has a great fielding and a pretty good hitting shortstop. That's all I've got for today. We'll show the cards at this time. And last time, including that real cool Diamond Stars Pie Trainer that I like. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week.